Imagine walking into a warehouse, no fancy decorations, no expensive lighting, no luxury shopping experience, just giant concrete floors, massive shelves, and thousands of products stacked to the ceiling. Yet this simple warehouse generates billions of dollars every year. Now here's the strange part. Before you can even buy anything, Costco asks you to pay just for the privilege of entering the store, and somehow, millions of people happily say, yes. Imagine owning a supermarket where your customers actually pay you before they've bought a single product. It sounds impossible. But Costco has turned that idea into one of the most successful retail businesses on earth. Most supermarkets compete by making more profit on every item they sell. Costco does the exact opposite. It keeps prices incredibly low, sometimes earning only a tiny margin on products, while still becoming one of the world's largest retailers. So where does the real money come from? The answer isn't hidden in the shopping carts, it isn't in the food court, and it isn't even in the famous $1.50 hot dog. The real business is something millions of customers pay for every year, often without thinking twice. Today, we're uncovering the economics behind Costco, how a company built on razor-thin margins became one of the most profitable retail businesses in the world, and why its business model is so difficult to copy. To understand Costco's success, we need to go back to 1983. In Seattle, Washington, two entrepreneurs had a radical idea. What if a retailer stopped trying to maximize profit on every product and instead focused on selling huge quantities at the lowest possible prices? At the time, it sounded risky. Traditional retailers depended on high markups. The more they charged, the more money they made. But Costco believed the opposite. Lower prices would attract more customers would increase sales volume, and higher volume would create buying power. It was a simple idea, but executing it would change retail forever. Instead of opening elegant supermarkets, Costco built enormous warehouse-style stores. No polished marble floors, no expensive decorations, no fancy displays. Everything inside had one purpose: move products as efficiently as possible. Every dollar saved on operations helped keep prices lower. But Costco introduced one more unusual rule: not everyone could shop there. Customers first had to become members by paying an annual fee. Most people thought this would scare shoppers away. Instead, it created a loyal community of customers who kept coming back. As membership numbers grew, suppliers wanted shelf space, customers trusted Costco's pricing, and the company gained the leverage to negotiate better deals. The result was a business that grew stronger with every new member. That wasn't just retail, it was a self-reinforcing economic engine. Here's where Costco's business model gets really interesting. Most retailers make their money when you buy something. Costco makes money before you even start shopping. In the United States, a standard Gold Star membership costs $65 a year, simply for the privilege of shopping at Costco. But Costco doesn't stop there. It also offers an executive membership for an additional $65 with a 2% reward on qualified purchases. And this is where the numbers become enormous. By the end of fiscal 2025, Costco had around 81 million paid members. Think about what that means. Tens of millions of customers are paying Costco every year, even before buying their first product. In fiscal 2025, Costco collected approximately $5.3 billion in membership fees. That's a massive recurring revenue stream. But there's an even more powerful part of this system. Costco doesn't just want members, it wants loyal members, and Costco has an unusually high renewal rate. At the end of 2025, about 92.3% of members in the United States and Canada renewed their memberships. Why does that matter? Because once someone has paid for a membership, they have a reason to keep coming back. And the more they shop, the more value they feel they're getting from that membership. It's a psychological loop that keeps customers coming back again and again. And Costco benefits from that loyalty in another way. Loyal customers create enormous sales volume. That gives Costco more purchasing power with suppliers. More members create more sales create more buying power, And better buying power helps Costco keep prices low. That's the Costco membership machine. So here's the strange thing about Costco. It sells products at incredibly low prices, but low prices usually mean lower profits. So how does Costco make this work? The answer is simple. Costco doesn't try to make a fortune from each product. It makes the entire system work at enormous scale. Think about what that means. Tens of millions of customers are paying Costco every year, even before buying their first product. In fiscal 2025, Costco collected approximately $5.3 billion in membership fees. That's a massive recurring revenue stream. And then Costco saves money in places most shoppers barely notice. There aren't expensive supermarket-style displays everywhere. Products can stay on pallets. Shelves are designed for efficiency, not decoration. The building itself is basically a giant machine designed to move products from suppliers to customers as cheaply as possible. But Costco's biggest advantage may be what happens before the products ever reach the shelves. Costco buys enormous volumes directly from suppliers, and when you're ordering hundreds of thousands of units instead of a few hundred, your negotiating position changes dramatically. Suppliers want Costco's business because Costco can move massive amounts of inventory, and Costco doesn't keep all of that advantage for itself. It uses lower purchasing costs to offer better prices to members. Those lower prices encourage people to buy more. More shopping creates more sales, and more sales give Costco even greater purchasing power. It's a cycle, and every part of the cycle strengthens the next. And that's what makes Costco so difficult to compete with. It isn't just selling cheap products, it's combining membership loyalty, massive sales volume, efficient warehouses, and supplier power into one system. The result is a retailer where low prices aren't a weakness, they're the engine driving the entire business. So if Costco keeps product prices so low, where does the profit actually come from? The answer is more interesting than you might expect. Costco has two very different engines running at the same time, its retail business and its membership business. And together they create something unusual. The retail side generates enormous sales. Customers walk in and buy everything from groceries and electronics to furniture and gasoline. But Costco deliberately keeps merchandise margins relatively low. The goal isn't to make huge profits on each transaction, it's to keep customers buying more often. Then comes the membership business. Membership fees are recurring revenue. Customers pay to belong and many renew year after year. That creates a predictable stream of income before Costco even sells another product. And this is one of the biggest reasons the economics of Costco are so powerful. There's another advantage. Because Costco already has millions of members, it can introduce additional businesses to those same customers. Gas stations, pharmacies, optical services, travel, food courts, and its private label products all become part of the same ecosystem. One customer can generate revenue in multiple ways. And then there's Kirkland Signature. Costco's private label allows the company to control more of the product economics while offering customers strong value. If shoppers trust Kirkland, Costco doesn't just control the shelf space, it controls the brand, the relationship, and a bigger part of the economics behind the product. Put all of this together and Costco's strategy becomes clear. Keep prices low enough to attract customers, keep them loyal through membership, increase the number of ways they can spend, and operate at massive scale. Costco isn't built around one giant profit margin. It's built around thousands of small advantages working together. But selling products cheaply is only possible if you can move them cheaply. And this is where Costco's supply chain becomes incredibly important. Every product has to travel from a supplier into Costco's network and eventually into a customer's shopping cart. The fewer unnecessary steps, the lower the cost. Costco keeps this process remarkably simple. Instead of moving products through layers of warehouses and complicated distribution networks, the company focuses on moving large quantities efficiently. Products arrive in bulk, move through the supply chain quickly, and reach warehouses ready to be sold. And there's a clever detail hiding in plain sight. Many products don't even need to be unpacked and placed on traditional shelves. They can arrive on pallets and remain on those pallets until customers take them. Fewer touches mean less labor, less handling, and fewer opportunities for something to go wrong. Costco also benefits from scale. A truck carrying a huge shipment of one product can move thousands of units at once. When those products are sold quickly, Costco doesn't have to keep massive amounts of inventory sitting around. The faster the inventory moves, the more efficiently the entire system operates. This creates another powerful advantage. Costco knows that its members are already coming to its warehouses regularly, so instead of delivering every individual product to every individual customer, the company lets customers do much of the final transportation themselves by filling their carts and taking the products home. Put simply, Costco's supply chain is designed around one goal: move more products with fewer steps. Suppliers ship in bulk, warehouses handle products efficiently, and customers take large quantities home themselves. Every unnecessary step removed from that journey can protect Costco's margins and help keep prices low. But Costco has another weapon that most retailers can't copy so easily: its own brand. It's called Kirkland Signature. Instead of simply selling products made by other companies, Costco creates products under its own private label. And this changes the economics of the business in a very important way. Think about a typical branded product. A manufacturer makes it, another company distributes it, a retailer sells it, and every layer needs to make money. With a private label, Costco has much more control over the product, the pricing, and the customer relationship. But Kirkland isn't designed to look like a cheap generic brand. That's the clever part. Costco positions it as a high-quality alternative at a strong value, and because customers already trust Costco, that trust can transfer to the products carrying the Kirkland name. This creates a powerful relationship. Costco controls the shelf, Costco controls the brand, and Costco knows exactly who its customers are. If a member loves a Kirkland product, they have another reason to return to Costco instead of shopping somewhere else. And Kirkland can also strengthen Costco's bargaining position. When a major national brand becomes too expensive, Costco has another option: develop its own version. That gives Costco more leverage when negotiating with suppliers because it isn't completely dependent on any single brand. That's why Kirkland is more than just a store brand. It's part of Costco's larger strategy. It can offer value, strengthen customer loyalty, create more control over products, and support Costco's negotiating power. The result is a private label that helps make the entire Costco ecosystem stronger. Costco's real advantage isn't just getting people through the door, it's getting them to come back. Once someone pays for a membership, the psychology of shopping changes. The customer now wants to make that membership feel worthwhile, and Costco gives them plenty of reasons to keep using it. Low prices are the first reason, but they're only part of the story. Customers can buy groceries, household products, electronics, and other essentials in one place. The convenience of combining all those purchases makes Costco a regular part of the customer's routine. Then something interesting happens. The more often members visit, the more opportunities Costco has to sell, and the more value customers feel they're getting from their membership, the more likely they are to renew. This creates a simple cycle. Value creates visits, visits create spending, and spending reinforces the membership. Costco also creates a sense of discovery. Its product selection changes, and customers never know exactly what they'll find. That makes a routine shopping trip feel a little like a treasure hunt, and when customers discover something they like, they have another reason to return. This is where Costco's business model becomes difficult to compete with. A normal retailer may compete on price, another may compete on selection. Costco combines price, membership, convenience, and discovery into one experience. Each part supports the others, and that creates the Costco flywheel. More value brings more visits create more purchases make the membership feel valuable, and valuable memberships encourage customers to stay. The result is a business that becomes stronger every time the cycle turns. But no business model is perfect. Costco's strategy works because customers see enough value to keep paging for membership. That means one of its big strengths can also become a weakness. If customers stop believing the membership is worth the price, the entire flywheel can begin to slow down. Costco also operates in an extremely competitive retail market. Walmart, Amazon, and other retailers are constantly fighting for the same consumer spending. Customers have more choices than ever, and switching to another retailer is only a few clicks or a short drive away. Another challenge is Costco's dependence on massive sales volume. The company keeps merchandise margins relatively low, so efficiency matters enormously. If operating costs rise, supply chains become more expensive, or customers spend less, there is less room to also those pressures. Then there's the warehouse model itself. Costco needs large locations, huge inventories, and efficient logistics. Expanding into new markets isn't as simple as opening a small store. Every new warehouse requires significant investment, and the location has to attract enough customers to justify that investment.
And there's another subtle risk: expectations. Costco has built its reputation around value. Once customers become used to excellent prices, even modest price increases can change how they perceive the membership. Maintaining that perception of value becomes just as important as maintaining the products themselves. But that's what makes Costco interesting. Its risks are closely connected to its strengths. Low prices require efficiency. Membership requires value. Massive warehouses require scale. And scale requires customers. Costco's advantage isn't that it has no weaknesses. It's that, so far, its system has been strong enough to manage them. So after looking at the entire system, Costco's success starts to make sense. It's not because of one revolutionary idea. It's because several simple ideas reinforce each other. Low prices attract customers. Membership creates loyalty. Massive volume improves efficiency. And that efficiency helps Costco keep prices competitive. That's what makes the model so difficult to copy. A competitor could lower prices, but then it still needs the membership base. It could launch a private label, but it still needs customer trust. It could build huge warehouses, but it still needs the scale to make those locations profitable. Costco has spent decades building these pieces together. Suppliers, warehouses, memberships, private label products, logistics, and customer behavior all work as parts of the same machine. Changing just one part doesn't recreate the entire system. And that is the real economic lesson behind Costco. Great businesses don't always win because they charge the highest prices. Sometimes they win by creating a system where customers feel they're getting an incredible deal, while the company benefits from scale, loyalty, and efficiency behind the scenes. Costco turns shopping into a relationship. Customers pay to enter the ecosystem, return regularly, buy in large quantities, and often discover products they didn't plan to purchase. Every part of that behavior feeds another part of the business model. And that's why Costco is more than a warehouse retailer. It's an economic machine built around trust, scale, and recurring customer behavior. The genius isn't selling one product for a huge profit. It's building a system where millions of small advantages compound over time, and that may be Costco's greatest competitive advantage of all.